Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to get through some of the numbers here and some news articles, but Canola Crush slows down significantly this week, down to 82.5% of crush capacity utilization, which is quite low. I think this is the lowest number we've seen so far this year. Still, ahead of pace of last year, but down 8.2% from the previous week. And the previous week was in the 80s as well. So year to date is still 92.5% crush capacity utilization. The other highlight here is just our export pace is actually pretty slow too compared to last year. Now that was a pretty good shipping year as well. So just keep that in mind. And there's rumors that there's been some switching of vessels between Australia and Canada, and it goes back to that six vessels kind of a scenario again that was talked about a couple weeks ago, that China was buying. India is facing some hotter weather in some areas. I think it was just last week we were talking about it being closer to ideal. Now it's getting hot. 78% of its long-term average rainfall in the northwest area where there's wheat and the majority of the wheat is grown. Indian farmers have planted wheat and rapeseed on a record of 33.42 million hectares and 8.94 million hectares respectively. That's what the farm ministry data has shown. February is a critical month for crop development. Sharp rise in temperatures during that period would lead to lower yields. So we'll just have to keep our eye on that. Trump Fed pick sparks brutal gold and silver sell-off.
Side, silver as well, down 13%. Mike McClone over at Bloomberg is basically saying you may have just seen the top on silver, and this could be for years now that you won't see those same silver prices as you've seen. He's been warning about this massive speed in this rally that we've seen. And we're also looking at other metals as well that are down. I mean, you're looking at copper. Also, copper was up around above 14,000 per ton in London, and that has also moved lower. That doesn't take away from sort of this narrative that we've been hearing about, is the demand for these metals, for the demand for copper that you're going to need for data centers, for electrification, et cetera. But look, there's inelasticity when it comes to that, because a data center is not going to stop being built just because you've got higher copper prices. But nevertheless, a lot of this has to do also with China's speculative trading as well. So analysts had been warning this parabolic move. You can't have these types of parabolic moves without having some type of a downturn at some point.
The reaction to that from David Eby when he saw that his power was being taken away and that he no longer had power, he was no longer going to have power to constrain oil and gas development in Alberta on behalf of his communist masters in China, right, was to jump up and down and have a hysterical little hissy fit and say that we're engaged in treason and that real Albertans don't support independence. I mean, it was the most ridiculous display of on behalf of a premier that I've ever seen. He should be embarrassed, really.
If we take David Eby out of the equation
Sure.
for a second, can you understand how on the face of it Canadians would view, some Canadians outside of the ones that support your cause, who are not necessarily unempathetic to the frustrations expressed by people in this province, but who would view the idea of people here meeting with a government that has spoken the way it has about this country as a whole as problematic and seeking money to make this happen?
I understand that there's a lot of Ontarians and people in Quebec that suffer deeply from Trump derangement syndrome, but we're not doing anything untoward. It's absolutely, from our perspective, we're just conducting due diligence on behalf of our fellow Albertans. We're serious professionals. I mean, I've argued cases at the Supreme Court of Canada, for goodness sake. I mean, we take what we're doing very seriously, and obviously the attitude of the United States towards Alberta independence, which incidentally is overwhelmingly enthusiastic, is something that informs our movement going forward. If the United States said, oh God, we can't tolerate that, flies in the face of the communist New World Order, we'll slap a 300% tariff on Albertans if they leave because we want you to remain resource slaves of the communist government in Ottawa, it would be a totally different conversation. But that's not the case. We're gratified that it's the case. And quite frankly, the Trump administration shows Albertans far more respect than is shown to Albertans by the government in Ottawa. Do you think three of us could get a meeting with Tim Hodgson to talk about the need for a pipeline to the Pacific Northwest so that David Eby can't continue to hold us hostage? Of course not, because they want us to be held hostage. So, so I understand that there are Canadians that are upset, especially in Ontario, that when Alberta leaves, that Ontarians for the first time in their lives are going to have to pay their own bills and pay the bills of the Maritimes that we've been paying for years. I understand that's upsetting to people, but they need to understand that Albertans are done, we're leaving, and there's no more conversation to be had. I know that's upsetting to people.
So just one of the first maps I'm going to maybe just show is just this ice cover is actually it's cold over the Great Lakes, of course. You've got 54, almost 55% ice cover there now. cold over here and snow showing up in areas. I don't think even a lot of people in the Carolinas even have a snow shovel, and there's some snow showing up there. So extreme cold, frost maybe affecting a lot of Florida there as well. This is just a anomaly map that I show here, and then in the next one you can actually see that area again in Brazil is a little bit drier than it should be. And this is just showing the cold temperatures here as they move along here. The pink and the light pinks are the ones that, and it looks like Manitoba is going to continue to get waves of cold in here, and yet the forecast keeps changing here as well. It shows that it's going to be warmer than it has been, but it's still going to be quite cold. It's not going to be above melting like it's been over in Alberta, Calgary area. Canola down $3 on the front month. Rapeseed down or up 3/4 of a euro at 4.73. Soybean oil is down again, another 45 points, so 53 cents a pound. Crude oil at 61.81, down $3.40. The diesel fuel is down 12 cents. Soybeans down $5.75. Spring wheat is down 4.75 as well, and your other wheats are down 5.04. Corn is down 1.5, and the Canadian dollar is down 22 points as well. Just a quick look here. Just putting a few different technicals on the chart, and you can see that we're just basically slowing down. So there's actually a downside target just with the some of the technicals I put on this chart right in the area of 580. Now there does seem to be, even on the slow stochastics, if we're going to break down, this is a sell point here for sure. By the look of it, unless we get some more news on biofuels or something to kind of keep this elevated. November contract shows the same thing. The European rapeseed it is elevated, but I don't know how long it can hold on there. The current differential is $120 right now using the May contract differential between European canola and rapeseed. So your canola is $120 undervalued over the rapeseed, and it needs to be in that 150 for you to find that market easily from Canada. So we still need to find a bigger price differential before big amount of movement going over to Europe. Soybean oil falling apart here as well. You can see that it got to the 23.6 retracement value and then pulled back. Look weak. Same thing with the soybeans. Crude palm oil just following all the other stuff here as well. And crude oil had a big down day and continues to have some pressure. Same with diesel fuel. Canadian dollar actually should be supporting canola, and it is. Like if you look at some of those other oils, bigger down than the canola. So if we get a little bit of a hold here, or continue to fall, like I'd rather see it down in this area for sure. Now looks like that's the direction that we're going to. So this is the gold fall from Grace on Friday. The same thing with the silver, big fall there as well, and your copper. So a quick look at wheat, really nothing to see. You're still inside that trading range. Same thing with your Kansas and your Chicago. Even your French wheat did try to make some highs for the last couple of months, but it looks like that's retracing now too. Corn looks a little bit weaker on the tail here. And let's have a look at meats here. So there was a report that was out. It's quite bullish, and yet the market trade. This report comes out after the market closes on meats. So this report is probably going to give some bullishness to the cattle market. So just a quick look at the cattle market. It was down pre-report and still not open yet. And the same thing with the feeder cattle as well. It was down. And if we get some lift in beef, we'll probably get some more lift in pork as well. The stocks report will come out on Friday, and labor market for both U.S. and Canada will be out on Friday as well.